So I've been involved for about the last year and a half to try to figure out which grave we were going to exhume, and then actually conduct the exhumation. And my colleagues who work with me, who are military historians, did an incredible amount of historical research to help us figure out which graves should be candidates for exhumation. And then once we had figured that out, I came over here to France on site and then did the exhumation and recovered the remains of the individual who will become the unknown soldier in Newfoundland, alongside my colleagues at Commonwealth War Graves Commission. We had to be very careful as to which grave we exhumed to ensure that this individual remains an unknown, because some of my colleagues work on projects to see if they can identify soldiers who are buried as unknown Canadians. So the last thing we wanted was to exhume somebody, and then somebody out in the public starts doing historical and archival research projects and then deduces who we ended up exhuming.
How do you identify them?
The starting point really is sort of the archaeological context. So what was found during the discovery? Were there any artifacts with the remains, any cap badges, identification discs, anything with any type of clue of nation, unit, or even personal? And that will then give an idea to the Commonwealth War Graves Commission's recovery units that they are Canadian and that we are to be involved to confirm their identification. Then it's the historical research to find out from the exact location where the human remains were discovered, who was in that area, who died, and who went missing. And that's what we're focused on, who went missing in the location where the human remains were discovered. I then come over here and do the anthropological analysis of the remains here on site, because the remains are not repatriated to Canada. And I put together what's called a biological profile. So things like age, sex, height of the skeleton, which we can then compare against the information in the personnel files. But what's important to remember is that many lied about their age. So the date of birth in the personnel file is wrong, which means more historical research to find a birth certificate, a baptism record, to confirm their actual age at death. Then with the history and the biological profile, the age range and the height range, we narrow down that list of missing to as much as we possibly can. And then we start doing genealogy research to find living DNA donors for each of those candidates. And we do DNA analysis in the hopes that we get a positive result. And if we're lucky, we get a positive result. We're able to confirm their identification, and then we come back over here and they're buried in the closest appropriate cemetery to where they fell.